about the poet Rudyard Kipling. Rudyard Kipling is one of the best known of the late Victorian poets and storytellers. Although he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1907, his political views, which grew more toxic as he aged, have long made him critically unpopular. In the New Yorker, Charles McGrath remarked, Kipling has been variously labeled a colonialist, a jingoist, a racist, an anti Semite, a misogynist, a right wing imperialist warmonger, and though some scholars have argued that his views were more complicated than he is given credit for, to some degree he really was all those things. That he was also a prodigiously gifted writer who created works of inarguable greatness hardly matters anymore, at least not in many classrooms where Kipling remains politically toxic. However, Kipling's works for children, above all his novel The Jungle Book, first published in 1894, remain part of popular culture through the many movie versions made and remade since the 1960s. Introduction to the poem If Rudyard Kipling, one of the most famous poets of the late British Empire, published If in his 1910 book Rewards and Fairies, the poem's speaker advises his son to live with restraint, moderation, and composure. The son should always keep his wits about him, the speaker says, never overreacting. He should learn to be confident without being vain, accept hardships without dwelling on them, and behave with dignity. Living this way, the speaker suggests, will make the son a true man. This is a poem of advice not just from a father to a son, but from fathers to sons. A poem about an idealized kind of self-sufficient male virtue. Its worldview borrows heavily from Stoicism, an ancient Greek philosophy that encourages people to live uninfluenced by pleasure or pain, a perspective that appealed to English writers like Kipling and plays into the stereotypical idea of the British stiff upper lip. Summary of the poem: if you can stay calm when everyone around you is panicking and holding you responsible for their panic. If you can be confident even when no one trusts you, while still taking other people's concerns into consideration. If you can be patient. If you can avoid lying even when people lie about you. If you cannot hate anyone even when they hate you. If you can be virtuous in these ways, but still not think too highly of yourself. If you can have big ambitions without becoming a servant to them. If you can be analytical, but not get lost in analysis for its own sake. If you can take a measured approach to successes and failures, seeing them both as temporary and not especially meaningful. If you can handle it when unscrupulous people distort your sincere words to deceive the ignorant. If you can lose everything you've worked for and get right back to rebuilding it from the ground up. If you can risk everything you've earned on a single gamble, lose it all, and begin again from nothing without complaining. If you can push yourself to total mental and physical exhaustion and still keep going with only your willpower to support and sustain you. If you can mingle with the masses without losing your own moral compass or travel in the highest society without becoming haughty. If neither your enemies nor your friends can hurt your feelings. If you can treat everyone with respect but avoid idolizing anyone in particular. If you can fill up every second of unrelenting time with worthwhile action, then the world will be your oyster. And more importantly, you will be a true man, my son,